So, because Steiner still has HP, at some point before Kraken, I need to have him die. He needs to be in critical. I'm not going to do that until I've gotten past the first 2 screens, ideally. Because on these three screens, you can fight veterans. Also, on this screen, it's really important that you hug these stairs really closely. Let me try that again. And you come round. Nice, got an encounter for it. And it's a veteran. Please don't punish me. This class is get for 9 this. Alright, cool, we're up. Ah, perfect. It killed Steiner for us. This is exactly what we wanted, to be honest. I'm going to take a moment to pick him back up. So when you get onto this screen, normally, you want to not go too far out. You want to make sure that you're nice and tight on that banister, that you don't get an additional encounter check. Bit of mashing here before we can proceed up. 99.89% chance to get an encounter on this screen or something stupid. Yeah. Watch out for cleaves, obviously. Again, if Steiner is above critical HP, you need to make sure he dies. This would be an opportunity to do it. You need him in critical for Kraken. I can't believe this would be like a 1 encounter Kraken as well. This would have been amazing. Insane. So you can still get encounters in the screen, so wait until you're through it. And after this dialogue, we can do a menu. Scroll my notes because I've actually kind of forgotten it. So Kraken is another boss where we actually want to gain AP. It's not completely essential, but it does help. If you've got the ethers for it, just drop one on everyone that needs one. Prioritize Steiner, Freya, and then Zidane. You want to make sure they've got a good chunk. If you put enough on them, then you'll have enough going into Lich as well. You start by going into Freya's equipment. Mithril Helm, Diamond Helm, these should just be the first options. And then Power Belt should be the second slot. If you fought a veteran and it's suicided, you're going to probably have Topaz in your inventory here. It's really annoying. Deal with it. It's going to push the Power Belt down a 3rd slot. So that we can put the Rebirth Ring on Zidane, wrap round to the head, put the Mantra Band on. Remember that? We bought this in Arc. We haven't used it yet. Do anything? Draws on Hidden Strength. Nice. Abilities. We want to take auto regen off of Zidane here in Rebirth. And we're going to R1 down just the once. R1 twice will put us too far. Tech Girls comes off. Alert comes off. And ability up goes on. Roll over to Freya. And R1 wants to put Devil Killer on. R1 again. Manually go down to ability up. That comes off. Antibody goes on. And then we L1 twice to get back to distract. Go back to Steiner. Auto float. Oh, so normally if you're level 29, which you should be, you won't have enough crystals to put auto float on yet. So you'll have to take HP 10 off first, and then put auto float on manually afterwards. Finally, we need to put auto life on Zidane. You can do this in his menu, but again, like we did at the end of Disc 3, you can wrap around so it moves your cursor back up to the top of the menu for you. I'm going to save state outside of Kraken because Kraken is quite a weird fight. Kraken shares some rules with Lani. So, we can cheat Kraken and we can steal turns from... Oh, hang on. I was supposed to put auto float on Freya. Yeah, so normally it goes auto float, Devil Killer, ability up off, antibody on, L1 twice, distract on. Sorry, I forgot the auto float. My bad. How you doing, Woo? Okay. So you can try and take preempts here, but okay, actually let's talk about that. So you can take preempts in this fight without too much risk as long as it's not Freya. That will become clear in a moment. If anyone else has what looks like a preempt, you can go for it by attacking tentacles. And you need to make sure that you attack them on opposite sides. The tentacles both need to go down immediately one after the other. The only pairings that you need to be careful of, I believe, is... In fact, I don't think there are any. I think like an Aura Hulken Zidane with a Steiner may low roll, but if you've got the tower, it's no problem. Other than that, the only thing that you need to make sure of is that Freya attacks the tentacle last. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have Zidane attack left, Amarant's going to attack right, then Steiner's going to attack left, Freya's going to go right. So he's doing freeze, everyone's got body temp, that can't do anything to me. And that's fine. So what happens next is Kraken is, like everything else in this disc, is incredibly fast. She has like 48 to 50 speed or something like that. She's probably going to have her turn before I've even dealt 1 point of damage with Zidane's attack in a moment. But like Lani, when she had that counter attack, when she went underneath 50%, Kraken does something similar when her second tentacle dies. So what we're going to do is we're going to queue our abilities in a certain manner so that by the time Freya is ready to deal damage to the second tentacle, I can actually queue all of my guys in to have an additional turn. This is how you two-turn Kraken. It's very difficult. It's almost impossible to do without Rebirth, because you need Zidane to enter critical and be involved with these turns. You pretty much don't get it if you're Rebirthless, but on Rebirth, it's very achievable. It's almost impossible to not damage roll it with the tower. Sometimes you don't even need Zidane to go into critical if you get enough high rolls, but you want Zidane to enter critical on the first turn. So what we're going to do is let them have their turn, and then as they start coming back up, I'm going to queue them in this very specific order. I'm going to have Zidane go first, and then I'm going to queue charge, and then I'm going to attack with Amarant. And it's really important that I do it in that order because I need Zidane to go into critical from Kraken's counter attack. I need to make sure that Amarant is alive for the charge. So now Freya is going to attack and kill this tentacle. And it's going to actually put Kraken's turn to the back of the queue, despite her queuing it ages ago. Freya can't get in on this turn, and we don't really want her to either, because she doesn't have... Oh, she does have Distract, but she'll probably go down. 6-1-5-6. See how I'm getting an extra turn here for free? I'm going to hold Flee here with Zidane because I want him to die, but he dodges it because he has Distract on. It's not the end of the world. We'll try again next turn. Six, 3, 9, 6, 5, 4, 4, 5. If we get a critical, we're in easy street. 3, 5, 5, 9, 1, 3. Then she's going to have her turn here. She's going to counter Amarant most likely. After that goes through, I'm going to hold ATB here. Let it go. See if she does anything. Because that may have just been her turn. Flee here, try and get the hit. Unfortunately not. Oh shit, I didn't want to swing. I didn't want to swing with Freya there. 6084. That was a mistake. Let's see what she does. So she's killed Freya, unfortunately. I've kind of messed this up now. Let's see if Zidane goes down. So what we wanted to happen here is we want the counter to kill Zidane. It hasn't done. So I'm going to reload here. But what... I'll try again, because I didn't mean to actually queue Freya's attack there. To recover this scenario, I would need to have Steiner pick up Freya. She's got about 12,000 HP left. We can't kill this turn. We need Freya alive, really. We'll try again. Some people actually remove Distract from Zidane during all this, but it's up to you. We've got the same RNG, so I'm going to queue them again the same way. Making sure that I'm alternating them. You must not attack the same tentacle twice in a row. You need to use the tentacle's dying animation in order to give your characters enough time to generate ATB. So we're going to swing here. You do have more than enough time to do it. Comfortably got all those Qs in before she... About nearly 8 seconds or so before she actually dealt her damage. So we got loads of time. Easy, easy, easy. And then we're going to get an extra turn here because we pushed her back. 1, 5, 6. I think we're on the same seed. I don't think... Is this going to miss again? Yeah. The reason why you flee is because you want to make sure it puts you in crit. You're happy to die here. Weirdly enough. 69, 6. 5, 4, 5. 6, 2, 0, 5. More swing. And then 1, 3. Why do we leave distract on for this fight? So we don't have to manually equip it again afterwards. Check to see if that was her turn after the tentacle. Leg's gonna come in, flee. Still missed. So I'm gonna swing with Zidane here first. Check. Hold flee to see if I can get the damage. So if we don't go down here, we did go down here. Perfect. So now we should have lethal damage because we're gonna get Zidane in on this charge. So charge and attack. 6, 1, 2. 3, 9, 6. 4, 6, 7, 5. And then the final touch from Freya. Dead. The other alternatives to this fight is that she can open with Water. If she opens with Water, you can sort of like do a backup 2-turn Kraken fight. And the way that... what I'll do is I'll pretend that she Water opens me. So I'll let her have her turn. And then usually Water will not quite kill Zidane, but it will kill Amarant off. So Amarant will be dead. And then what I can do is I can take it... I'll attack the tentacles once each, and then I'll use a Phoenix down on Amarant for next turn. Like this. So we don't want to take... I don't think we want to take... Oh, she's just having a turn. Okay. Too slow. Okay, that's no... Let's pretend that didn't happen. So then, let's pretend that she's had one turn so far and she's Water Goddess, and now we're in this scenario here. Zidane's HP would be a bit lower. He might be in crit. So here's... And then she'd probably, hopefully, be doing this. So now what we can do is we can queue... I'd do Amarant first, and then Freya on the other tentacle. And then we can queue Zidane. And we can queue the charge. And then Amarant's going to come back round in just a moment, and we'll just queue him straight away. And that's going to give us... It's going to give us an extra Amarant turn on this turn. And we can go for another sort of pseudo 2-turn from this point onwards. If you manage to get 2 preempts in the beginning, then and she Water you, you can kind of like have one of your characters pick her up, and one of them pick up Amarant, and then the 2 characters finish off the tentacles with Freya going last, and like kind of go for a backup 2-turn that way. There's a couple different answers and things like that. They all sort of play into each other once you start understanding how the fight works. Not counting damage. Whatever. That's like 12, 17. 22. 28. Then depending on what she does here, gone for the leg. It seemed a bit late, you know. Let a turn happen. Leg's going to come in, try and take flee. Happening again. Deal the damage, try and take the flee damage. So I'm only taking the flee damage here because I want Zidane to go into critical. If Zidane already had critical health here, I would be charging first, then swinging with Freya, and then swinging with Zidane. Zidane is the only person in this encounter that's trying to gain... what's it called? Ability points. So Freya won't have lethal damage if I attack here, but I'm not going to attack with her. But yeah, Anion, I know that Sal takes Distract off in this encounter. which you could do, and then you could pop it back on. But like the chance of her water growing on one of the turns is like not too uncommon. You kind of can just play for it. Like it should just be able to like swing, swing, swing. Kind of want Zidane to die. I want him to be into critical for Lich. And then he's dead. So, alright.